They call this the 1928A1 Thompson, but I think they lie. That's not the 1928 Thompson I know. Let me show you what a real one would have looked like. It introduced the horizontal grip, that's for damn sure. Most didn't actually have the cuts compensator or the fins on the barrel. They were meant to be a cheap version for military contracts and whatnot. Sight. No. The 1928 A1 Thompsons also didn't have the ladder peep sight. They had a fixed sight. And essentially, the only difference between the 1928 A1 Thompson and the M1 A1 Thompson had to do with the cocking handle location. What else do we have to do here? I guess fire. Got it. That was the other thing. Where do I find the magazine? Magazine. Yeah, for some reason it's not working right now. But they also only had the stick magazines for those because the 50 and 100 round drums were fairly unreliable. Go to X-ray view here. Gives you a good idea how it worked. Fire. Guess we go down to slow-mo with a 10. Simple blowback. Go ahead and zoom in here on the actual workings. Slow it down one more time. And look at this brass bushing right here. It served to lock the gun up, but they realistically figured out that it really didn't do anything. What it effectively did do was lower the cycling rate a little bit for the Navy contract. And later M1 Thompsons and on didn't really ever have that brass bushing in there. To save time, you know, more than anything. See how that magazine works? Maybe. Of course. Oh, I didn't want you to reload. Whatever. Let's take it apart. Alright, welcome to World of Guns, not World of Warships. That's coming, though. I am Desert D. Eagleton with Abusive Noobs Gaming, and this is the supposed Thompson 1928A1. Let's get her taken apart. We're going to start with the magazine. Pull the magazine apart, twist that guy, pull it off. Top cover pops off. That is the follower. And back on here, we have a little clip that holds in your spring and whatnot. I guess now we're going to start with the buttstock. Get that all pulled apart. Go underneath, there's these two screws. Then we'll go ahead and also pull off the sling mount. Sling swivel. Alright, and we pull the mechanism that locks the stock to the gun. Ah. Camera angles. Not the greatest thing in the world. separate the receiver from the trigger group, and we're going to vomit because of the camera angles. Take our grip off. That is our safety. I don't know. That's our fire selector. There's full and then there's single. This is our safety. Two different things. And if you guys have ever handled a Thompson, I cannot stand this. This is your magazine release. It's absolutely awful. Not really easy to use. The safety isn't any better. Of course, this gun came around, you know, in a time before ergonomics were ever put into question. Alright. Had to adjust my screen there. For some reason it was too low. That explains a lot why everything's been acting a little screwy for me. That's our disconnector spring, that's our disconnector. The trip for the disconnector. Trigger spring, that's the trigger. Duh. And I guess we'll start at the front of the upper and work our way back. Move the front grip, which would have been a horizontal on a real 1928A1. On most of them. I'm not going to say all of them. Pull our front sight off, and then the compensator will twist off. Mount for the handguard. Okay. That'll be our recoil spring and guide rod. I found that interesting how it pokes out the back. That is our bolt. What I find interesting about the Thompson is that it is hammer fired, but not in the traditional sense, because this right here is your hammer. Instead of, it's open bolt, but it still has a firing pin, which is not very common. Most of them, most guns that are open bolt, submachine guns, will just have a fixed firing pin right here. It's just a protrusion on the breech face itself. Go ahead and pull our extractor off. This will take our lock bolt out. That's that brass bushing or bronze bushing or whatever it was that I talked about before. And that is the actuator. And this is a breech oiler. From there, we will pull off our rear sight. That's the rear ladder peep sight. These guns handle horribly. Plus they're heavier than hell. Like 13, 14 pounds or more heavy. And then you add in, you know, 4 pounds of ammo and a damn drum mag. It becomes a bitch really quick to carry around. But you look oh so cool shooting it. Let me tell you that. Okay, I'm missing up the ejector. Nope. More? Frame latch. Oh, come on. What else is there? Hint it. Fuck it. Oh, fucking serious. No? I missed more? Oh, and the sear spring. Ooh. Still pull it apart faster than probably I could a real Thompson. And likewise, we're just going to reverse this. Go ahead and put our rear sight together. That's not what I wanted, but we're going to do it anyway, so I clicked on it. Put our firing pin in. Then the hammer. What are we missing? Ejector. I think that's kind of interesting how it locks itself into the fins of the barrel. And we'll put our bolt in. Massive bolt. Alright. I guess we'll work on the stock. Since I like to do this in like little subsections. Of course, I can't put it on now. Forceful camera. So many small parts. Finally start understanding why the U.S. military started searching for a replacement pretty quickly. Very expensive gun to produce considering all the parts for this are milled. Of course I can't make those yet. The U.S. military at least officially replaced the Thompson with the M3 Reese gun. They never really completely replaced it though. There were still Thompsons in the inventory well after World War II, into Korea, and even in the early stages of Vietnam. Though most were sold off to various police agencies, the FBI, of course they had their own, and prisons, although prisons more or less got the M1 and M2 carbine. They really liked those. But anyway, that is the Thompson M1928A1 on World of Guns. I'm Desert D. Deagleton with Abusive Noobs Gaming. Signing off for the night. Alright, we'll see you guys next time. Tune in.